All right, are we live? Yes, we are. Yo, what up, everybody? It's your boy Fitzmonk TV here, aka G-Lauren33. I'm back with another video on the channel for y'all today. And today I'm here with your Monday Night Raw review and results for February 18th, 2019. The show just concluded a couple minutes ago. And you know, it's the first show post Elimination Chamber. If you guys haven't yet seen my review, make sure to go check out my Elimination Chamber review. That is already live on the channel. We did that last night. All right. But you know, going to Monday Night Raw, we were gonna see as we are continuing on the road to WrestleMania, and we have one more small pit stop before Mania, and that is Fastlane. No matches were announced for Fastlane. You know, they barely even mentioned tonight. The whole point of tonight and the main focal point of Raw tonight was the debut of 4 NXT superstars. And basically, before Monday Night Raw went live tonight, there was reports on Twitter, reports on social media talking about that tonight we would see Tommaso Ciampa, Aleister Black, Johnny Gargano, and Ricochet all make their debuts on Raw. And it came out of nowhere. Nobody was expecting it. But it was the main focal point of Raw. But before we get into everything that happened on Raw tonight, I do have to rant. All right, Raw overall, with you know, the only reason why I will say it's an okay show was because we saw these 4 NXT superstars tonight. Other than that, this was one of the worst Raws of the year. This show was atrocious from start to finish. There was absolutely no. If you didn't watch the show, all right, the only thing you missed tonight was the debut of these NXT superstars. Other than that, you could have skipped the show in its entirety. It was absolutely. It was a dumb show. It was terrible. You know, you're on the road to WrestleMania, and you can't give us good program that we can get invested. All right. First thing I want to say before I get into anything talking about this show is the crowd. The night show took place in Lafayette, Louisiana. Lafayette. I've never heard of that town in my life. Never. The only thing I know about Louisiana is that's where Popeye's chicken was born. That's the only thing I know about Louisiana. Other than that, Lafayette, Louisiana, you should never, ever have a WWE show in your town again. The crowd tonight was one of the worst crowds of all time. They didn't care about anything in the crowd. People were taking pics. JD from New York put a pic up on his Twitter page tonight. And basically he circled a bunch of people in the audience. To be honest, if you want to see the definition of a casual, that's what you saw tonight. All right, it was pictures of people in work clothes, people in random attire, people that seemed like they were just there just to watch the show. They weren't WWE fans at all. They were just like, oh, there's a sporting event. Let's just go tonight and see what it's all about. That's what we saw tonight. It was absolutely disgusting to watch. All right, you're debuting 4 of the best of NXT, 4 of the best superstars all of NXT, and it's the main focal point of your show tonight. And the crowd didn't give 2 fucks. They did not care at all, and it was disgusting to watch. All right, really was disgusting because these 4 are so big. You want to make a big deal of them, but you can't. You can't. Just because WWE and not even I can't even really blame WWE. I have to blame the crowd. This crowd just didn't care. The problem with this crowd tonight, and somebody said this, was that Lafayette, the way that this show was advertised in this city, they only cared about big name superstars that were being promoted, like Seth Rollins. All right, like a Braun Strowman, like a Sasha Banks, like a Ronda Rousey, something like that. They don't care about these NXT stars because they don't even know who they are. This is a casual city. It's a casual market down there in Lafayette, Louisiana, and it was just gross because when Ricochet came out to interfere and saved Finn Balor from Bobby Lashley and Leo Rush. When Aleister Black went up against Elias. When Johnny fucking Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa came out to face the Revival in what could easily be a WrestleMania tag team match. And the fans don't care. They have no reaction. You know there's a problem. You could tell right away with this crowd tonight. It started off in the beginning of the show when Triple H comes out and he announces they show video packages for all 4 of these superstars. And basically the crowd is barely giving a reaction as he's reading off the names, as he's saying Ricochet, as he's talking about Tommaso Ciampa, as he's talking about Johnny Gargano, as he's talking about Aleister Black. All right? You know, Triple H is singing in the ring, praising these superstars that he has watched grown in NXT. Superstars that we know, real WWE fans like myself and others, we've seen these superstars and seen what they can do. And the fact that this crowd just didn't give a fuck. I'm going to say this right off the bat. WWE should never have another event in Lafayette, Louisiana. It was actually disgusting to watch. All right? Absolutely gross. And you know, it's a disgrace. It's a disgrace. All right. Honestly, next time WWE you plan to do for the big like debut NXT superstars, do it in a big market. Do it in a bigger town. All right. Like maybe like you're down south, do it in Atlanta or you know, I don't know, Jacksonville, Florida, or Miami, Florida. Do it in one of your bigger markets. Don't do it in a random town, Lafayette, Louisiana. Nah. If you want to do a WWE event in Lafayette, do it like a WWE Live or a house show in there. They don't deserve a Raw or SmackDown or a pay-per-view ever again. And I hope WWE took note of that tonight. But, you know, getting into the show, as I said, Triple H starts off the show by coming out and he talks about, you know, the 4 NXT superstars debuting. He talks about Tommaso Ciampa, Ricochet, Gargano, and Aleister Black. And they each get individual, you know, video packages. And in the background, Michael Cole is giving commentary on each of the superstars, you know, giving them some background information, you know, some of their accomplishments in NXT, their styles of wrestling, stuff like that. And I'm just thinking there like, damn, what if Mauro Ranallo was on the main roster? We've seen Mauro Ranallo down in NXT. The guy is a freaking GOAT. All right? Well, this thing, I'm just like, Michael Cole has no business. I don't care that Michael Cole has been there 20 years now. All right? The guy sucks. He's not a good commentator. He really isn't. I really just can't stand it. I really wish, and it just makes me mad. This gets me pissed off that JBL caused Mauro Ranallo all those years ago to get fired off the main roster. He was so good. He's so much better than Tom Phillips, and Michael Cole and all this. You know, Renee Young, I remember I was so excited when she first got announced as the first female commentator ever in WWE. But like she hasn't really brought anything to the show. And then Corey Graves is Corey Graves. We all know. All right, we don't have to get into Corey Graves and all the stuff going on with him. But honestly, the Raw commentary team is trash. After WrestleMania, if you really want to shake things up, like you said, you need to change up the commentary team. You know, you got to make changes. Bring up some of the NXT commentators, switch things around, sign some actual good commentators. Because I'm really getting tired of hearing Michael Cole, Corey Graves each and every week. But, you know, Triple H is, you know, he introduces you as the 4 superstars. The crowd barely gives a fuck like we just talked about. And, you know, afterwards, he also announces that DX, it was revealed earlier today that DX will be getting inducted into the Hall of Fame WrestleMania weekend this year. They are the first one to be announced. It'll be him, Shawn Michaels, X-Pac, Billy Gunn, Road Dogg, and also, you know, China, who, you know, unfortunately is no longer with us, but she will be getting inducted into the Hall of Fame along with the rest of DX. You know, not complaining at all. DX is one of my favorite factions of all time. Love them, and they deserve it. After that, Triple H also announces that we'll be having a tables match to start the show with Braun Strowman and Baron Corbin. And I got pissed off right away. All right, I was thinking, hey, you're debuting 4 NXT superstars tonight. Why don't you do something like that right now? Why don't you start off the show with a bang and debut one of these NXT superstars? Like, what are we doing here? Honestly, I was thinking maybe you could have done something like an open challenge, have Finn Balor, defend his IC championship against Ricochet in a bar burner to start the night. That's what I was thinking. But no, the WWE decides to do the same match it did last night at the Elimination Chamber with Braun Strowman and Baron Corbin. The only difference this time is that it's a table match. At Elimination Chamber was no disqualification. Tonight on Raw, it was a tables match. And I couldn't care for this match at all. All right. Strowman comes out. He has tape all over his back, trying to sell his injuries from last night. And I just couldn't care. I'm this close to putting Braun Strowman on the get off my TV list. He is right there. Like, it's bad. It's bad. All right, Strowman and Corbin fight for like 15 minutes, and basically it was basically a repeat of their match from last night. If you saw Strowman versus Corbin last night Elimination Chamber, you didn't need to watch this match from today. All right, the only difference is this time Lashley and Drew McIntyre decide not to get involved. Like, you had no problem getting involved in a no disqualification match last night, but you're not going to get involved the next day in a tables match? Like, And basically, the way the match ended is basically the same way Strowman power slam. Remember last time at Elimination Chamber, Strowman power slammed Baron Corbin through a table? He did the same exact thing tonight to win the match. Why? Hopefully this is the end of the Baron Corbin Strowman feud. I don't care about the Strowman character right now. I definitely don't care about Baron Corbin. Get these two away from each other. Get Strowman going with something we might actually care about going to WrestleMania. All right. That's what I got to say about that. The fact that WWE decided to do this match again. Absolutely disgraceful. Absolutely just terrible. Just terrible. What happened next? Next up, we had Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman came out, and basically one day there was a little quick side note. As Strowman was exiting the ring, Heyman came out and grabbed Heyman by the throat and was holding him for like a good minute. Heyman was like, "Let go of me, I'm just the advocate." And then Strowman eventually lets go, and basically Heyman continues walking to the ring. Basically, this was what they showed then. It was like about a 4 or 5 minute career retrospect for Brock Lesnar. I'm just sitting there like, why in the world is this happening? Is this the way we're building up Brock Lesnar versus Seth Rollins at Mania? The same exact way they book every other Brock Lesnar feud. No matter if it's Roman Reigns or Braun Strowman or John Cena or whoever. All right. Yes, let's make Lesnar look up the beast. All right. It sucks. How are we gonna make it to Mania at this point? I don't see. We're gonna be dead by Mania. All right. The way this is going, we're not gonna make it to WrestleMania. All right. It's gross to think about. All right. Basically, documentary talks about everything that Paul Heyman says in his promos each and every week. It was pointless. It was really pointless. He talks about how Brock Lesnar came to WWE in 2002, how he defeated Rock at SummerSlam. Then he went through the whole division, then left the UFC, conquered the UFC, becoming a UFC heavyweight champion. After that, came back to WWE and basically has continued to wreak havoc for the better part of the last decade. That's what it was. The same thing that Heyman has done in every promo. All right, for Brock Lesnar. Lesnar is the beast. Listing off his accomplishments. It's so sick and boring at this point. Really, it was a good video package. It looked nice, but at the end of the day, we all know it was for Brock Lesnar not to show up. That's the reason why they showed it, because they all knew Lesnar was not going to show up tonight at all. And I absolutely hate it, man. Like this is the way we're building towards Mania. Great job, WWE. Great job there. Hold up, give me 1 second. I'm gonna plug in my laptop. My laptop is dying. Apologies, guys. Here we go. All right, laptop's plugged in. All right, but other than like the Lesnar, it was so bad. I don't know how we're gonna survive the Mania with Lesnar and Rollins if this is what we're gonna get all the time when Lesnar's not there. It's the same way Lesnar, every other Lesnar feud has been booked, and I'm so sick and tired of it. Like, come on. There's no other way you can build this match by having Paul Heyman do the same repetitive promo. Really? Come on. Right afterwards, Finn Balor, the new IC champion, Finn Balor comes out, and basically he's talking about how he's enjoying the spotlight right now, finally being the champion for the first time in over 2 years when he lost the Universal Championship night after Mania because he was injured. What happens is Leo Rush comes out. All right, Leo Rush comes out talking about how Finn does not deserve to be champion. He got lucky last night, all this other stuff. Basically, this was all a setup. All right, because seconds later, Lashley attacks Finn Balor in the ring. And basically, it looked like, everything was good between Leo and Bobby. They were back on the same page, even though Leo cost Lashley the IC championship last night. But as Lashley is assaulting Finn, we hear Ricochet come out. Ricochet comes out and he lays out Ricochet. I mean, he lays out the name. I'm forgetting. He lays out Leo Rush, and then he goes after Bobby. This would set up, of course, for a tag team. I felt like they could have debuted Ricochet in a much better way, especially with the way this crowd was tonight. It would have been much better if they did a Finn Balor versus Ricochet IC title open challenge match and had Finn Balor either win or have some kind of fuck finish, something like that, DQ, something like that to break it up. And Ricochet came out and I popped. I got happy a little bit, but the fact is this was a slow tag team match. Really didn't enjoy it that much. But what happens at the end of the match? Finn Balor tags in, Ricochet for the hot tag, and basically what he does is he hits Leo Rush with a diving back uppercut, gets onto the top rope, hits his signature 630 splash, and basically Ricochet and Finn Balor get the win. Ricochet gets his official main roster points, main roster bucket. Don't know where they're gonna go with Ricochet from here. I'm not sure if Ricochet is gonna stay on Raw or go to SmackDown or something like that. He's not champion right now in NXT, but I believe he's still feuding with Johnny Gargano along with Velveteen Dream over the NXT North American Championship. Not 100% sure, but Ricochet, no matter where he lands, he's gonna be a huge star. Definitely loved what he did tonight. I feel like they could have made his debut better though, but it is what it is. Moving on. We had Lucha House Party versus Zack Ryder and Cat Hawkins. I'm going to skip this. This match did nothing. You know that Kurt Hawkins has his epic lose stream, which is like, I think, over close to 300 now? I'm not sure. But what happens is, Kurt Hawkins got a hot tag from Zack Ryder, and basically he's taking out both members of the Lucha House Party. But then, Lynch Dorado hits Kurt Hawkins out of nowhere with a head scissors takedown. 1, 2, 3. That's how the match ended. Really, Heath Slater loses again. I mean, not Heath Slater, not Heath Slater. Kurt Hawkins, my bad. Kurt Hawkins loses again. What else do y'all expect? Moving on. We had, I don't know what this was. We had another segment. If you guys remember last night at Elimination Chamber, Lacey Evans randomly came out. Her ring music hit, and she came out. It's like the Royal Rumble match had just, not the Royal Rumble match. I don't know what's with my words tonight. The Elimination Chamber match had just started, and she wanted, Lacey Evans was trying to get a spot at the table. That's the way it looked, right? Lacey Evans at Elimination Chamber comes out randomly with her music playing, look like a fool, and then she basically just walks down to the ring and then turns back. All right. But tonight was a little bit different. We had, Tucker and Otis, aka Heaven Machinery, talking about their relationship, how they look out for one another. But then Lacey Evans comes out of nowhere, bragging, stunting, all this other stuff. And basically they did, and this would lead to Heaven Machinery doing a stunt with Lacey Evans, which looked like it actually suppressed her. This segment made absolutely no sense to me, to be honest with you. No sense whatsoever. Don't know what they're doing with Lacey Evans. Even though she turned heads. She was very surprising at the Royal Rumble. We'll have to wait and see what they'll do with her from then. We might see this going forward with Lacey Evans. Who knows? Who knows? But we also, real quick, we also had another update from Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens said that, during his break, mainly that he realized why he does this, why he keeps fighting, and he fights for his family. Doesn't that sound familiar with the whole Page movie thing, Fighting with My Family movie coming out later this week? You also go check that out. I'm probably gonna do that too. But yes, next up we had the second match, the second NXT debuts of the night. We had the Revival, the new Raw Tag Team titles, going up against Johnny Gargano, the NXT North America champion, Tommaso Ciampa, aka the NXT champion, and they were hoping to get that third member to come in. Well, that didn't happen tonight. There was no need. This was a good match. I definitely got the DIY vibes. Really enjoyed it. This is what we want to see. I was thinking DIY versus the Revival. What a WrestleMania clash that would be if we got the story for it. Hopefully down the line we'll get it. Maybe SummerSlam. You never know. You never know with these things. But I really want to see Gargano and Ciampa back as DLY, just like back in the day. All right. But basically what happened is DIY looked absolutely great against, the Revival. The Revival just looked like they couldn't keep up. And think about it, the Revival are the main roster stars here. Ciampa and Gargano are still in NXT. They're still technically in the developer brand. And now they're challenging, all these other people. Absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. What happens at the end of the match, though, Revival hits a shatter machine. And then DIY hits their move, meeting in the middle to end the match. 1, 2, 3. Not a bad match at all. And I enjoyed it for what it was. I feel like those two teams have another gear to them. Something we can maybe see down the line like Mania. You never know. All right. But I would love to see DIY, reunite to have a big match at Mania. It probably won't happen because of TakeOver and all the other stuff that goes on that weekend. But, we'll have to wait and see. Other than that, Gargano and Ciampa winning, defeating the Revival, definitely one of the best parts of the show. All right. We had my girl, Sasha Banks and Bayley, a.k.a. the current reigning Raw Women's, not the Raw Women's, but the Women's Tag Team Champion. They come out to celebrate. It was advertised all night. So Sasha and Bayley come out to celebrate their huge victory with their championships held high. They talk about how much it meant to be standing up together with the gold. And then afterwards, the slut herself, Nia Jax and Tamina come out, to interrupt the champs. And they get taken out by Banks and Bayley. So maybe this is going to set up for Sasha and Bayley to go up against Nia and Tamina at Fastlane. Probably. All right, I can definitely see that happening. But we'll have to wait and see. It wasn't a bad segment. I love Sasha and the passion on both of their faces. We know how much they love to do this. I'm just hoping this is a long title reign. They hold those titles for most, if not the rest of 2019. They deserve it. There's so many good matches we could see. We got this match with, Sasha and Bayley going up against Nia and Tamina. We got Sasha and Bayley going up against the Iconics. Sasha and Bayley going up against Fire and Desire. Those are all good feuds right there. We also can have outside feuds like Sasha and Bailey going up against, the Riot Squad. You know what I mean. You can always have them going up against the Bella Twins, Trish Stratus and Lita, which we know is one of their dream matches. There's so much that can happen. All right, with just one wrong move. But hopefully Sasha and Bailey won't make those wrong moves, and they will hold on to those championships for a very long time. All right, next up we had Drew McIntyre versus Dean Ambrose. Dean Ambrose was being very confusing tonight. I don't know. We know based per storyline that Dean's contract runs out at the end of WrestleMania. All right, just a couple days after Mania season, and it's confusing because it seems like 1 week he's a heel, another week he's like a tweener in a way. I'm not saying he's strict babyface, but he kind of looks like a tweener. Or what they're doing with him earlier in the night. Drew McIntyre was demanding a one-on-one match at Seth Rollins. All right, demanding it for Triple H. Then Dean Ambrose comes out, and he was basically pissed. He was like, you could tell he was very pissed when someone's getting pressed. All right, but we see Dean Ambrose just straight up slap. I believe it was Cat. All right, I don't know. Dean slapped. I think it was Scotty. Was it? I'm not sure. Not exactly sure. But we know that Dean Ambrose is most likely leaving in Mania. I mean, after Mania. Maybe they're setting him and Rollins up for a reunion. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. All right, it's a little confusing because plus they didn't really explain it at all. But it is what it is. We'll figure it out. All right. But this would lead to Dean Ambrose versus Drew McIntyre. And basically what happens is Drew won the match by hitting back-to-back double claymores on Dean. Hopefully he's all right. And afterwards, we had a funny interaction with Seth Rollins and Dean backstage. We know those two don't get along. They were once brothers, not anymore. And basically, we're seeing. I don't know what they're doing here. To be honest with you, trying to figure out where this is gonna lead Dean at Mania, but no clue what's gonna happen there. None whatsoever. We'll have to wait and see. But backstage we had Dean talking to Seth, and then Seth was like, "Can I help you?" All right, and then Dean goes up and says, "Yeah, where were you tonight? Why weren't you up there?" All right, very similar to something we've already seen in accounting. I believe it's items over equilibrium, if I'm correct. Not 1,000% sure. Don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But I want to get out of here real quick. Couple more things to cover. We had Elias versus Aleister Black. We all knew Elias was getting buried. All right, this match lasted 10 minutes, I believe, maybe a little bit less. How did Aleister Black win? And I love Aleister Black. I love his entrance. But once again, the crowd absolutely not caring. I found it pathetic. The crowd not caring about these debuts. Oh man, it's something else. But no, you guys say something. Of course, I think about that all the time. But trying to think. When it comes to Aleister Black, this guy has Universal WWE Championship main all over him. Don't forget that. Don't waste the guy, man. We love what he's doing, and we feel like it's gonna help him find success on the main roster. All right, he came out and basically defeated Elias with the I forget what it's called. Damn, my mind's flying everywhere. You guys can tell I'm pretty tired. It's been a long day. He hit the black. He hits the black mass on the lights. 1, 2, 3. So all three NXT superstars, they make their debuts tonight, and I absolutely loved it. Absolutely loved every flavor. Definitely enjoyed that. Um, let me guys know in the comment section. Let me guys know if you guys are in the stream right now. Let me know what you guys thought. What did you guys think of, each of the NXT superstars debuts, specifically the Emily and Michael and Jordan. All right. I don't know what to say. There's not much you really can say in a situation like that. The way I'm like having trouble staying awake while recording this review, it's the same way that crowd was tonight. Absolutely despicable. There's no other way to put it. And to main event the show, I can't even believe this was the main event. We had Ronda Rousey versus Ruby Riott, with the Riott Squad accompanying her ringside for the Raw Women's Championship match. A rematch of the match we saw at Elimination Chamber. I'm sitting there, and it's part of the reason why I can't even stay awake during this review is I'm sitting there and I'm like thinking, didn't Ruby Riott get buried in like under 3 minutes last night? How am I gonna believe that she deserves a rematch? What has she done to deserve any type of rematch here? I just nah. Bro, what was with Ronda's get up tonight? Ronda came out, last night at Elimination Chamber. Ronda looked like an absolute beast. She came out with the Sonya Blade outfit. All right, but tonight she came out basically looking. I believe it was like the same way she did back at Money in the Bank last year when she went up against Nia. She hit like a cross body, which was absolutely astounding, especially for the way he is. But other than that, it was it was a bad match. It was better, way better. Almost anything could be better. A Jinder fucking Mahal match could be better than anything we saw at Elimination Chamber between Riott and Ronda. All right, this match was definitely better. Definitely better. Don't regret it. Great. All right. You know. Go for it, man. I'm just trying to think. I'm just remembering Ronda Rousey versus Nia Jackson Money in the Bank last year. Absolutely crazy. Crazy, but I don't know. I was like, did like Ronda leave for like her normal wrestling gear like at home? Did she only bring gear for the pay per view? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. All right, but it didn't really seem like it had an effect on her shooting. On his shooting, the guy was a beast tonight, absolute beast. But the Ronda Rousey Ruby Riott waves came in a little bit near the end of the month, and it looked like he was in trouble because the waves got closer and closer and closer. All right, you know what I mean? Like it was. Anything was better than the match we saw at Elimination Chamber. I'm just disappointed that WWE didn't need to do this match a second time. Ruby Riott, after getting her ass kicked, no matter if it's storyline or not, after getting her ass kicked the way she did and the fastest she did at the Rumble, she doesn't deserve a second chance. This was a far better match than what we saw at the Rumble. I mean, at not the Rumble, at Elimination Chamber, but still, nah, we can't do that. There's too much traffic at this time. This nah, we can't do it. But the way that's, Ronda Rousey, she's improving each and every day. She had some really cool counters and some transitions into armbar. The first time she had a really cool transition that she rolled through, and she couldn't quite get all the grip she wanted. After the third try, this time he actually did it. It was a really cool transition. I can't remember how it's done or how much it costs or anything, but it was a really good, shot. Loved it. Loved it. If you don't like that, you don't like Kings basketball. Iconic. But other than that, the match dragged. Felt like we didn't need it tonight. It was a bad way the main event. It's like WrestleMania is almost forgotten. It's only talked about when a billboard or a poster comes up. I understand it to an extent because you have other things you need to have done, but still, shaking my head. Taking that long to eat is absolutely unnecessary. Just don't know what to say. Ronda puts Ruby in the armbar after taking care of the Riot Squad at ringside, and in a matter of like 2-3 seconds, Ronda retains the tag team titles. I mean, not the tag team titles. My bad. Ronda retains the Raw Women's title, just like that. That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. Hold on. I'm trying to think. I was gonna say something. Hey, let me know in the comments section what you guys thought of the whole Ronda Rousey Ruby Riott match. Was it better? Was it truly better than the match we saw at Elimination Chamber? I don't know. Give me guys your thoughts on that, please. Other than that, that's about all that happened on Raw tonight. They barely mentioned Charlotte. They barely mentioned Becky Lynch. All right, not much mention of anything at all tonight. We know that next week they're having the huge Ric Flair birthday party in Orlando. Charlotte will probably be there. Maybe Ronda Rousey will crash it. Maybe even Becky Lynch will crash it. Who knows? Maybe they'll do it together. You never know. All you gotta do is be ready, because when the man comes around, trouble will happen. But I don't know. I don't know. I'm trying to think. If there's anything else I'm missing from Raw tonight, I think we have everything. Ronda retains. She's getting in shape. She's looking better. Other than that, that's about it. Really, that's about it for the Raw review. And she's kind of quick. We've only been streamed for about 40 minutes, but this is the way it is. Okay, I thought they announced that it was gonna be the other side. Okay, please close the door, please. But other than that, that's about it for the Raw review. Not much happened. Not much happened. And once again, I'll say what I said at the beginning of the plot. Lafayette, Louisiana, you deserve to never have another WWE television show in your area again, unless it's like WWE Live or something else. Hated it. Absolutely hated Raw tonight. And these NXT superstars barely made the show okay. I don't know. I just don't know. Other than that, that's about all I got for you guys today. Let me guys know in the comment section what you guys thought of Raw tonight. Did they do justice? Did they do justice with these 3 new NXT superstars? And what should be their plans going forward? I don't know. But definitely good decisions by Triple H. I just wish they had another plan. Or, they did differently the way Vegeta was timing up at all. Don't know what else to say. Really don't. Other than that, that's about your Raw. That's about all I got, guys, today for the Raw review for February 17th. No, February 18th. Still February 18th. February 18th, 2019. And then that's about all I got for you guys today. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. I apologize, for my little my little tired eyes. I'm really tired. It was a long, long day. But, I'll be back here tomorrow night with the SmackDown Live review. If you guys haven't yet, check out the Elimination Chamber review. That is live on the channel. Thank you guys for everything you guys have done. We'll see you guys later. Have a great day, guys. Peace.